Yes, we're back. Better than ever. Getting ready to rank some shows.
Oh, Eric and Rick are here.
Hi.
Hi.
I have opinions on shows.
Eric.
You can't say they're not opinions.
They are opinions. I didn't groan at you didn't have opinions. I groaned at the fact of opinions.
Well, what can you do? We don't have very many shows left. We've got through quite a few.
Too many left. That's true. We got through a good chunk of our new shows. We got to finish off the last bit from M to Z.
So we finished one of those new shows today? Yesterday. What day is it? What year is
Yesterday.
It? Today is May 5th.
it? It is. That's right.
Yep.
You got married yesterday. You
That's
should have
right,
put a ring on it.
ladies. Unavailable now.
You've been unavailable for like years.
Now.
Before the ring.
Yeah. It was very good. For it being a simple walk over to the courthouse, everybody made a good effort to make it very special for us. So appreciate it. And all the support online has been very nice.
Hydrate.
Yeah, it was good.
What can we rank of the wedding? Let's do that.
He didn't say men. Let's get him, boys.
All right. I just want to make sure we get everyone back and everyone's able to refresh before we
Indeed.
move into things and people miss their favorite parts of the ranking, which is ranking.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do a recap of all the ones we've done so far.
All right.
All right, starting at A
S,
of
A,
S.
B,
So,
C, D, E,
Where
F.
did we end with last time?
well, we've gone through a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We went through all of our previous stuff, and then we got into the new stuff
New
last
stuff.
time.
Yeah.
So we went through A through M.
Did we end with Masters of the Universe?
We were going through, we did Marvel's What If, and we did Masters of the Universe, and that's where we stopped. So we haven't
Gotcha.
finished all of them. But luckily, with doing that, meant that we got to watch the whole of the next show,
Oh.
Yeah.
which was Moon Knight.
Oh,
Indeed.
So
all
we
right,
should
so
be
let's
good
rank
to
Moon
start
Knight.
with some Moon Knight conversation. As we said before, we try not to dive too deep into things and not spoil people,
Mm-hmm.
but there may be some mild spoilers as we talk a little bit here and there about stuff.
Yeah.
So
True.
We now have all 6 episodes under our belt.
Indeed.
So if you want to watch the ranking and not get spoiled, just mute stream and watch where we put the icon.
it's true.
we won't go into too
And
many
then-
spoilers.
Type in chat that we're wrong.
All right, so we have the next Marvel series, or the most recent Marvel series, Moon Knight, which we just finished up yesterday with the
Gotcha.
finale, which was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. And it's also one of those things where, like, a lot of the other stuff I was familiar with because of the MCU already.
Yeah.
But this is kind of similar for me as, like, Guardians of the Galaxy, where, like, I wasn't really familiar with what the character was.
It's the first Marvel show based on a new character, right? Is that correct?
Um,
I get what you mean, like not an established movie character.
Yeah.
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 because we had Wanda, Falcon, Hawkeye,
Loki.
like all those have
Yeah, I
been in
think
the
so.
MCU before, so yeah, I believe so.
And it's also the first show to not really rely on the greater MCU in a way. I mean,
True.
there's not really anything that's going to be like, oh, well, you probably feel left behind because you didn't see this. You pretty much just watch Moon Knight.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Very
Pretty
standalone.
self-contained.
Yeah, I think a lot of the other ones feel better with
Yeah.
Falcon, Loki, WandaVision, like those kind of feed off of what has happened in the movies already,
Definitely.
which makes sense because those characters
Yeah.
are continuing on. You know,
Mm-hmm.
It's happened so recently, so I want to make sure I don't just feel like, well, because I'm still on the high of it, I don't want to give it bias. So I feel like I want to put in B, but I feel like Oscar Isaac was so good, it's like deserving of a whole other letter grade. So I'm almost wanting to put an A.
No,
I
I
certainly think I enjoyed it the most of the Disney Plus shows so far.
I
other
would
than
be
Loki.
upset if it's not an A.
I liked his performance a lot.
Yeah.
I liked the Egyptian-y music.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's maybe one of probably my favorite music of any of the shows I can think of.
Gotcha.
The action was solid. Sometimes very good.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
sometimes not there.
And that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you didn't see.
No, I think the show did a really good job. I enjoy the lore that it has, which is also a little different than the lore that we've had already.
Yeah.
In MCU.
think I need to also like either watch it again or just kind of like sit on it for a bit. So who knows if my ranking changes in the next year or so.
Sure.
True.
Sure, but you have another year ranking.
You're
to do
right.
that.
We can figure that out next year.
Yeah.
I do like a lot of the stuff that they did in the show. I don't think I have too many issues with it.
Mhm.
So I think as a whole, I could see it being an A. Like I definitely enjoy like Punisher,
Yeah.
Daredevil, like some of these
Yeah.
other shows that are up in there with superhero shows and whatnot. And I think it was pretty solid, overall for the show that it was.
Gotcha. I
Like
say
it.
A.
I think I'm okay with putting it in A tier.
Rick?
I think
He said A.
I-
You all heard it?
I think it goes in B for me. I think most of the Marvel shows live in C.
Yeah.
But I think that one and maybe Loki live in B for me. But I think Moon Knight is a very solid upper tier B.
All right.
All right.
Well, with that, then I guess with 3 A's, we'll put it in A for now.
The A's have it.
And then we'll revisit that one next year. That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, sure.
Like what we think about, because like I said, we just finished that one
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
yesterday.
Recency bias and all that. We can move that where we unemotionally believe that it resides later.
And that's our only MCU show in A.
Well, yes and no.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
We'll have to revisit that one next year.
Next
to see what happens.
year.
All right. Well, the next one, then that finishes up all the M's. So out of new shows that we've reacted to, the next one is One Piece.
Oh.
One Piece.
Now, I don't know if this falls in a category of like, we've only seen 5 episodes of it.
Yep.
Except for Rick has seen more.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen quite a bit more. I'm in Water 7, which is hundreds of episodes in.
I just feel like it's too soon to call, and we should try again in a couple years. I
Yeah.
think we need-
Revisit it next year.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
mean,
to be fair, Rick has ranked things just by himself.
I have,
And
but I am nowhere close to finishing this
yeah,
one.
true.
Sure.
It just
It-
might be TBD.
Is the thing.
Oh.
Like, man, like, I don't want to say too much about it. It goes above Naruto for me.
I mean, the episodes I watched, I thought were really good.
No,
Like, I enjoyed them.
I really enjoyed them a lot.
I
yeah.
thought the pacing of those episodes were really good.
I like the intro.
The intro was
the
fun.
intro's so
The
fun.
intro reminds me of like an 90s
Yep.
cartoon.
Fuck
Like
yeah.
I don't know, it was great.
It's almost up there with Put Your Grasses On.
Put your grass
I-
on.
I'm insulted.
I love that song though.
Hey, I didn't say down there. I said up there. It's on the other scale. It's on the enjoyment scale, not the actually good or bad scale.
Yeah, I just have so much fun watching One Piece. And it's great to be able to rewatch it with you guys. That'll happen forever.
For the rest of our lives.
So,
Or a small part of our lives if we can extend it by a lot.
I think since we have Community and TBD, I think putting in TBD, considering we only have 5 episodes of it. Now, I mean,
Yeah.
we only watched 6 episodes of Moon Knight, but that was the entirety of
Yeah,
the
sure.
show.
Of the season.
know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't scratched a surface.
No, not much. But I will say, what I watched of it so far,
Yeah.
I'd probably lean like, and I can only credit 5 episodes.
Yeah.
But I'd probably lean higher to like, at least B maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed it and I thought it was fun and I enjoyed the voice actors for it. So
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I definitely thought it was pretty good. But yeah, I'd say probably TBD for now.
yeah, I'm fine
Yes,
with
sir.
it being in TBD. I think I also lean towards A, but I think it gets better as it goes on.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, with not knowing how the episodes go, I
Yeah.
don't know if the story is better or worse, if the pacing gets better or worse. Like,
Yeah.
something that goes on that long, I'm
well,
sure pacing
to be fair, I'm
becomes-
also skipping the filler at home,
Sure.
except for one arc I watched.
like,
Okay.
Gotcha.
figuring out the pacing and stuff with that is like, there's bound to be a lot of filler and a lot of pacing issues, I
Yep.
imagine, at some points, you know? But if you can skip that stuff, it's probably not as bad.
All right. We will revisit next year.
All right, we will revisit later. Next up is Peacemaker.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm not really sure where I wanted to put this.
Yeah?
one. This one, I'm not. I don't know. I think some of it too is also like it has a little bit of that cringe humor. I think too with it, which
Sure.
I
You-
like,
you
but also
didn't
You're not a
quite
cringe guy,
Don't enjoy
yeah.
as much.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mhm.
You couldn't really
I really like Peace.
know, like, and enjoy it.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I do think it does some things that like not a lot of other like superhero-y type shows do.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
It's an very easy A for me, Peacemaker. I really enjoyed it. I've revisited a lot of scenes, actually. I think I enjoyed them even more the second time. Once you zero in on Gunn's style, I think it really flourishes. All the
Sure.
characters really develop.
Gunn does a good job with a lot of his stuff that I've seen so far.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that.
It, as other, and it's, you have to put quotes, superhero properties, you kind of wait around for the things that you want to see, but I think Peacemaker makes you want to see those wait around moments more than those big moments,
Sure.
Someone else should get it, Rick?
Well, Rick's not talking about Peacemaker, so
That's
why
true.
he's walking away.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry, we had a doorbell.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
The idea of Peacemaker and the things it does, I think, is really cool. It also pushes a little further, than like most properties.
yeah.
I feel like,
Definitely.
with either language or just content in general.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah. It definitely touches on some subjects where other shows would be maybe too scared, or like we can't open that box of worms.
Mhm.
or
and
let's
then
not
get
dive
back
too
to our-
deep.
Yeah.
Into
get
it.
back to our storyline kind of thing.
One of the best live action openings of all time.
The opening is
Especially
when we first
as
watched
you
it, we're like, what
I know.
the heck is this?
I know.
And also as we watch it more, we're like, oh, that's what
But
this
it's
is.
so brilliant that in its emotionless puppet-like dancing, it fits everything.
Sure. It's really
It's
cool.
such a strange, unique
You can
tone.
each time you watched it, Peacemaker, you yourself were putting things into Peacemaker's face that weren't there.
Sure, yeah. And the cast was really
And
good
the
too.
cast. Oh,
right?
great
Oh,
cast.
yeah.
Like I think they
Fantastic.
all did really well. It was crazy seeing shoot, what's his name?
Robert Patrick.
T-1000.
Robert Patrick.
Robert Patrick.
Yeah. Seeing him play that role
Yep.
was very interesting.
That
And
scene-
he did it very well, which
He-
also made me hate
He
him
did.
so much too.
He
Yeah.
did. But and he got like worse and worse and worse as we went, and where we ended up with him is really exciting for more eventually, I think. But I love that scene in the prison when Vigilante goes in and just is talking with all the white supremacists. It's just such a great scene because you have that crazy, self-confident Vigilante just saying whatever the fuck he wanted to him. It's so good.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's an easy A for me. It's not an S. I can't put it up on an S, but I can definitely have it up there with everything else that's an A.
I think I'll give it an A due to Flaming Hot Cheetos.
There you go. That judo master, baby.
Yeah, it's an A for me as well. Just the places that it took me, and then the path that it gave me to find my way back. It was pretty good.
No, yeah. I think I'm fine with that. I think I can go with A.
And also another show that we finished up kind of recently, so be curious to see where I am next year too. But
Sure. How much does it stay in my
Yeah.
mind? Because there's some shows where I'm like, man, I have not thought about this until just this moment,
Mhm.
So no, I definitely I enjoy a lot of what they had in there. So yeah,
Yep.
I could say probably A. If it's not an A, I don't think it's S.
No.
But I don't really want to drop it down too much, really, either. Because
No.
like the stuff it did, I thought it did pretty well.
I want to reward it for how well it did.
And the end
Yeah.
was pretty interesting and surprising.
Oh yeah.
So, all right, yeah, I'll go with A.
Cool.
All right.
Unanimous.
Let's move on to the next one, which is an interesting one.
Hmm.
This is going to be the Resident Evil
Oh yeah.
Oh.
that we watched, which I think was
Infinite Darkness.
what'd you say?
Infinite Darkness.
I believe that's
Yeah.
right. It
It
was like a
is.
4 episode. It wasn't very long.
It was very short. I think it
Very
was
short.
4 episodes.
which I think it was originally going to be like a movie,
Sure.
but then they turned it into.
Yeah, it was
Into
4
that.
episodes. Resident Evil: Infinite Darkness.
We have said that fear line so many times.
Now I went into it having never experienced a Resident Evil thing,
Sure.
other than just like every once in a while you guys are like, oh, this is like Resident Evil, and I'm like, oh okay. So for me, I had fun with those reactions, but this isn't very high for me.
No, I feel like it doesn't. If you're not familiar with the characters, it really doesn't do much for you. I feel like
Yeah.
the story was kind of terrible, to be honest.
I mean, I think my favorite thing was Leon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like the
just
rat part was fun.
watching Leon be a badass is
Yeah.
always a treat.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that a lot, and I liked a lot of the visual stylings of it as well. I thought it looked really good in some scenes.
It looked like an entire, like, movie-length feature of cutscenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, like it.
As far as the art and the voices and stuff like that, it was great. I loved it, but it was so hokey at times. it may have actually made me enjoy it more.
Which, to be fair, the games
Because
are
it was
pretty
so-
hokey too a lot of the time.
Oh yeah.
Sure, but I feel like the stories in the games I can follow along with a little bit better. Maybe not from game to game, but at least
Sure.
within the game.
Yeah.
You know, I've watched some like Degeneration.
Mhm.
The movie is really good, and I really enjoyed that. And it within its own self-contained storyline, I feel like it fits really well.
Yeah.
This one here, like there was some interesting stuff, but it kind of jumped a little bit. And,
Yeah.
like I don't feel like I enjoyed the story as much. And if it wouldn't have been that it was Resident Evil with Leon, I might have enjoyed it even less. You know?
Definitely. Agreed.
Though I don't know if you could tell the same story not in Resident Evil. You probably could. You could probably just make up some like zombie kind of storyline kind of stuff and whatnot. But
I mean, they did that with the Resident Evil movie.
I mean, they definitely took it off on its own thing
Yeah.
with the Resident Evil name. But they didn't have the main characters and stuff there either. So they should have a few show up here and there, I suppose. But I think I may put this at D.
I was gonna say D.
Being that the only reason I really watched it and the stuff I enjoyed was mainly because of like Leon and Claire, I guess. You know, like
Yeah.
a lot of
No.
other elements of it I don't like as much. Animation was fine.
Yeah, I think D as well. Like, it's so short, it can't be too offensive,
Sure.
you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't force me to watch it for 2 years
Yeah.
or anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think D is fine.
Yeah. I would
Sadly.
also put it in D.
I definitely wanted more out of it. But
Yeah, I'm a big Resident Evil fan. Would have loved to see more, but
Sure.
Maybe
and
that
a big
live
Resident
action
Evil
show.
fan might have put it lower on the list because it didn't deliver.
maybe. Yeah.
But
Yeah, D. I mean, it doesn't have a whole lot that redeemed it for me, but it wasn't so bad that I have to go lower than D. So, D.
Yeah. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely worse things I watched.
But for me, it was extra stuff for something that I have no basis in.
yeah. Just kind of generic zombie stuff with
Yep.
nonsensical plot.
I did love that line though.
Yep. And they
I
did
think
too.
about that often.
Which line was it?
the one about fear.
fear starts, or you know how terror starts rather.
Yep.
Starts with fear.
Same as everything else.
No, not that's a different one, Aaron. That's a different terrible line.
Let's move on then. Next up after Resident Evil is going to be Squid Game.
Ooh, Squid Game.
Oh
from
man, that's a show I
Korea.
haven't thought about a lot.
How do you not think about that?
Well, it came and it went. You
It
know?
did.
It was over in a flash.
But it also broke your ankle.
It
did.
did,
That's
and
true.
I've blocked that memory out.
I really like Squid Game. I mean,
Squid Game's an F.
I think Squid Game started strong and
sure.
teetered off as it went on. I think that's its biggest sin.
Mm-hmm.
I think it did have a pretty strong start.
Like I think where it like petered off in mystery and intrigue and what the fuck is going on? How did we get here? Like it adds in another column of just the characters and the investment that you feel. Like the marble game episode was great. Not our rendition of it.
Oh,
the
okay.
actual episode. That was crazy. Like how much we felt for these characters that
Yeah.
Sure. Like we like so many of them. It wasn't
Yeah.
like there was one character
Yeah.
we're like, oh, that's the best one. There's like elements of liking this, hating that, being upset at this and that. You know, I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it had really strong performances. I think it had a very defined visual styling. Like, I like the use of color and the different cinematography with the composition of the shots and things, I think was really well done. I don't know where I rank it. Also, it got Aaron over his fear of subtitles.
Got me
Yeah.
over my fear.
So that's
Yeah.
something.
It still is just. It's one of those things where it's like I'm trying to watch, trying to take notes. I'm missing things when I do. Sometimes I just don't write anything.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a thing. I think it was like in Moon Knight when they were doing other language stuff. It's like I really want to write this down, but I'm not gonna know what they're saying if I look down.
Sure.
To make sure I'm writing my notes. So.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think what I can do. Like it's not an F. I don't think it's an E. I don't think it's a D. I think I'm at least C or above for me. Like I mean, I think it's at least average. Now it's a matter of like how average or above average is the
I
show.
think the first half of it was at an A, and then I think the second half of it put it down to B for me. It's like a low B, I would say.
I think it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm somewhere in the B and C range, I think.
Yeah. Like trying to think like it's not an S for me. I think
No.
B and C really fits well. Like I think it was at least average. I think the ending at least. I think the ending can fit with like an average show of what they do. But I
Yeah.
think the beginning is better than what most shows typically do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like for me, I think the like the skill involved in making it and the performances raise it up for me. So I think it might end up living in B.
There were some really good performances.
Really good performances. And
Yeah.
in, you know, a
And the
language that we're not understanding.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the characters were just I think they were good. Like I think they were done well. They give you enough information for them and stuff too, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of stuff that they have. Yeah, I think B at least would be good then. I think I can push it out as C just because of like the good parts, the things I love about it. I think are better
And
than
that theme
most.
is just stuck in my head as well.
The theme song.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of it. Eric, what's the theme song for Squid Game? You're always good with theme songs.
Well, I think of the doll singing or whatever. I don't know the words.
I was gonna say, are those the words?
That's what I think of.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. I think I'm around a B. I think I'm okay.
Really
there.
put on the spot there.
No, I like it in B as well.
What do you think, Eric?
Yeah, low B for me.
Low B?
Yep.
All right. Well, we will move that into B. We might need to take a break for a second while we try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
I think there might be an issue with our PC itself.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I don't want to push in too far and it be more distracting than the conversation or anything, too. So
We could just come over and share your cameras. Share the mic.
just share.
Just share.
We could share, I suppose.
Or we could take it down. We'll probably have to reseat that card.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Aaron, coming up though,
Coming up,
when Blind Wave comes back with ranking,
do you know what's next?
Yeah.
Next, we hit into the category of Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Ah.
We have a couple,
We do.
surprisingly. All right, we'll be right back. Refresh.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the
Refresh.
Blind Wave Podcast,
Refresh.
where we
Aaron.
are ranking all remaining shows that
Oh,
we've
we're back?
reacted
What
to.
happened?
Refresh. You can hear me.
Well,
You find my cable?
We're back.
I'll tell them to
We're back,
refresh.
everybody.
Why couldn't this have happened tomorrow?
No, Pokemon must keep going. We could possibly end tomorrow, Rick.
No,
Before,
we have
but if we
all
don't-
of Kanto. Why do you keep telling him that?
If we don't,
You're lying to me.
he loves false hope.
we can get through
I
Kanto
played
quick.
Pokemon Gold and Silver. I know.
He knows his all of Kanto's still there, Eric.
Just, Aaron. I wanted to be like, oh yeah, you're right. Let's have as long as we can, and then we have vacation, and then he comes back and like, what are we doing now? And we're like, Pokemon.
We're like, we beat it. And then we come back like, more Pokemon. Actually, it would be great if we beat the Johto tomorrow. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's all right. I get to rank things that makes me happy.
We do, Rick.
Yes.
We do something that Eric doesn't enjoy as much today. We do
Yep.
something that you don't enjoy as much tomorrow.
That is
Perfect.
what marriage is all about.
Yes, it is.
Wait.
Wait
What?
a minute. I was married to Eric just a little bit ago.
Yes.
What happened? Yeah, you missed it. You guys missed another
You
conversation.
did miss it.
All right.
I started out. What was it? Flash
Flash or Superman?
or
something,
Superman?
yeah.
I was like, anyway. Yeah, we were late because we got married. And Aaron, I said we. Aaron goes, yeah.
I
And
thought of my ring too. I'm like, yeah.
Eric is just a sound Hashira.
Yes, I am.
All right. I want to make sure everyone's back and that
Fancy.
everything's good
Flashy.
before we move on. The
No, I'm
next
good. I
subject-
used our time off to order all the new Vintage Series and Black Series figures.
Oh, these are the ones without plastic?
That's what you're doing
Pre-order.
all next week?
Yeah, how do you rank the decision to change up the boxes?
Well, no, E because it's for the environment. All right, let's get back to it. Speaking
Everyone
of Star
good?
Wars,
We got everyone back.
I'm here.
Refresh and make sure that things are looking all right. I think we're okay. All right. So, speaking of Star Wars,
Yes.
let's start off with Star Wars: The Bad Batch.
ooh, Bad Batch.
We haven't rated the Bad Batch yet?
No, I
No.
think that happened right
Goodness.
after we rated last time, right?
Either shortly after or perhaps it started during.
Yeah.
Goodness.
But where do we put
Bitch.
the first season of Bad Batch?
Heck. Ricka.
I will say I've been watching through Star Wars with my kids, and
Yeah.
we were going through. Leon and Colson already saw some, so with Kanan and Ayla, they haven't seen much, so we're going chronologically through everything.
Gotcha.
And I think the first thing that really caught like Kanan and Ayla's attention was
Mhm.
Bad Batch. They enjoyed it so much compared to like even Clone Wars. Like Clone Wars, they watched and
Good.
stuff, but they really liked Bad Batch.
That's good.
Yeah.
It kind of surprised me a little bit.
I feel like it's relatively standalone. But they've been watching the other stuff too, right?
Yeah, we've been watching everything going up through. I don't know. I mean, it is standalone, but also like I think it feeds really well to where if you watched Clone Wars and stuff, you know, it
Yeah.
really just feeds off of everything that's prequel era. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it just feels like more Clone Wars for me, really, in a
It-
way.
yeah.
It really does.
So, I mean, that's probably where I would rank it.
Yeah,
Sure.
I would put it in a high A.
I mean, it doesn't have
as
the,
well.
the lows that Clone Wars has.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, it is ongoing as well. There will always be more, so that we can always judge it later too. But I mean, it's a beautiful show. Sound design's amazing. Music is great.
Like season 12 Clone Wars graphics.
When the Bad Batch showed up in the Clone Wars, that that final season, I liked it, but I was like, an entire show about this? I don't know, and it actually exceeded my expectations about that. So
Yeah.
It was quite good.
we have Clone Wars and Rebels in A, and this is
And you know what? Bad Batch takes place right in between the both of them.
it does. I would give it an A myself, being the Star Wars biased person I am.
Nerd.
You know, for as biased as we are, I feel like we don't have as much Star Wars in S tier as we should. Then
Sure.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's because we're conscientious biasers.
I mean,
don't
there's
know.
also
I'll tell you what. In my solo one that I was working on, I
Yeah.
did not have every Star Wars show in S.
sure.
You know, like
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh no, yeah, I get you. Yeah, it would have been easy A for me.
I mean, it doesn't have the lows of Clone Wars. It doesn't have the highs either.
It doesn't have the extreme highs. It's got some good highs.
Yeah.
It's got some highs.
Yeah,
But
some good highs are good. Having none of the big lows though is better. You know, and it's only been one season too. I'll be interested in seeing like next season,
yeah,
like next
it-
year.
I imagine if my ranking is going to change, it'd definitely be next year.
Yeah,
yeah,
I say A sounds fine.
yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do an
shove it in A.
Anyone have an objection to A?
I do not object.
The A's have it.
Do it.
Where's the gavel?
Prop room.
I had it earlier.
It's true. I tried to give it to the judge.
You
Yeah.
were gonna give it as a gift to him. Him of all people
Sure
has
he-
one.
He does.
It's
But
probably
his is
better.
smaller than ours.
And the judge can't take gifts.
He would have to turn it over to the county, which would
They're
then,
not allowed.
Give it
which
to
would
him.
then equip him with the gavel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So we finished one Star Wars. Moving on to the next Star Wars, the Book of Boba Fett.
Ooh. Hey.
Oh, man.
Boba Fett.
So
Some things that I've wanted to see on film for Star Wars forever
And we got
in
to
this
see
series. I was not disappointed with what I
Not
saw.
either.
no, I mean there's some really good stuff. I love some of the flashback stuff that he had too, and
Mm-hmm.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
some really good things. Like
No,
The way he says Tatooine.
I'm doing the sons of Tatooine.
I like
I love it.
giving
Tim Morrison. That's the best thing. Is Tim Morrison.
the
Yeah.
Tusken Raiders character.
A lot of character in those first 2 episodes. Hell yeah.
if you watch that compared to like what you learn of them from like episode 4,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah.
different.
Or
Yes.
episode 3.
Yeah. Like, it's a lot more contained than The Mandalorian, but it still has world building despite
Sure.
that.
Sure, yeah.
Now, it's a very divisive show. A lot of people have very strong opinions. I have seen most of the criticism for it, and I have dismissed it. No, I haven't. It's all criticism is valid, obviously. And if you want to have more talk about criticism when it comes to Star Wars, both valid and not, we haven't announced on this podcast, but we will be actually. We talked about this in Kenobi. We're going to be starting a Star Wars dedicated podcast at the end of this month, where you can talk about all this kind of stuff and more, called Badunkagunk. So
Badunkagunk
we invite you
podcast.
there to talk about various things. And I'm sure we'll have some type of like open question thing where we can talk more about Book of Boba Fett. But this is about just our opinions here. And for me, it's an A. Right across the board.
Right across the board.
Yep.
Sure. I mean, criticisms, there were some on some episodes being like, well, you need more Boba in this Boba Fett, TV
Sure.
show. But
Yeah.
I also think with where it came from,
Mm-hmm.
like you wouldn't have had it had you not had like some of the other characters and stuff that showed up and whatnot.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff they did was great. And I love this story that they give to Boba Fett. I know a lot of people were upset, but I think what they did is they gave more to a character that was essentially
A void.
nothing. Like
A mystery to everyone at Lucasfilm being like, why did they care?
Hey, now, the holiday special submitted that character.
sure.
It did.
I mean, originally
was
he
a
was going to be like a
backstabber.
super commando kind of thing, right? Like he wasn't even going to be a bounty hunter until they turned him into.
He was
going to
be an Imperial Super Commando.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Super
having
Trooper.
having like the story kind of flesh out who this character is, who
Yeah.
barely talked, who we didn't really know in previous movie stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, sure, there's been comics and stuff too.
Sure.
He's done some really cool stuff in the comics, but they also
Mhm.
took some of that and used some of it and didn't use others.
Yeah.
I feel like I liked every episode, but I really liked 2 episodes.
Sure. I think I definitely liked every episode. I mean,
I didn't
there's,
like every
there's
part of every episode, but as a whole, I think I liked every episode.
yeah, there's nothing in there that I was like, this doesn't belong in Star Wars. So, yeah, every part I think. I love the mods. I love the what was the rapper's name or the bassist name? That was the big yellow dreadlocks. There's a lot of things in there. People were like, this isn't Star Wars that I disagreed with, but I loved Fennec being in there. Yeah, I like Moochie and or not Moochie. They never named his Rancor, right?
I don't
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I don't
think
remember
so.
a name.
But it had Danny Trejo in it. It had
Sure.
Yeah.
it gave the wider audience a look into Black Chrysanthemum.
Yeah.
It's a lot of really fun things in there.
Eric,
Max
talking
Rebo?
about Black Chrysanthemum.
Yeah.
What would you rank the action figure?
F. The action figure that's
Agreed.
coming out for Black Chrysanthemum is a travesty, and it honestly takes this ranking down. B.
No!
I think it's a B for me.
B for you.
A for me.
A for you.
It's an A for me.
Thundercat. That's
A
right.
for you.
Sorry.
I definitely think I enjoyed Mandalorian more.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what all I don't like about it. I think music was great. I love getting to the end and hearing the music again and being like, oh,
Hearing the full version of the
you know,
song.
like that was so cool to have that.
I like that
moment
like
there, you know,
Polynesian choir, you know. Yeah.
Um,
I love the way Tim was able to bring a lot of his like Polynesian culture into what Boba Fett learns from, which is this other Tuscan culture.
Sure,
that
and
came
I
out of
really
nowhere.
love the Tuscans in that. I
Mhm.
love what they did with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Like
could
a
see where
bantha.
some people think.
I love that
Yeah,
beam.
Yeah.
I think I understand some people thinking it should be a B and whatnot,
Yeah.
but I think for me, no, I think A works for me. And if it's my bias, then fuck it,
I
this is my
fully
list.
support those people putting it wherever they
Yeah.
want to on their list.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if we're gonna vote, I think I'd vote A. A and A
Hey.
And a
B.
1B, yeah.
1B.
So we'll put it into A for now.
Ab.
Maybe come next year we'll have some other thoughts, some other shows that we put it up towards and stuff, and maybe
Yeah.
move things around. But
I also, a lot of people will say like bias, but I feel like I can defend all of my positions pretty well. So we'll have to again do that on
Maybe
Badonka
we can
Gonk.
visit that on the
Yeah.
Badonka Gonk podcast.
Yes, sir.
It'd be fun to have like it just dedicated. Here's the Boba Fett
Yeah.
podcast. We're gonna talk about everything, dive deep, take questions, all that kind of stuff. So
Yes, sir.
make sure you guys follow here because we'll be having it here live with questions. It'll be fun. All right. We still aren't done with Star Wars. We have more Star Wars to get to. Next up, we're gonna go to Star Wars, the Clone Wars.
Star Wars Clone Wars, not Star Wars the Clone Wars.
Sure, Star Wars Clone Wars.
Star
well,
Wars-
In that case, we should have done that before Bad Batch. But
Yeah, you're right.
just yesterday, we released
We did.
the 2 micro series like films almost that they have. But
Yep.
these were released as small shows, small episodes,
They were.
and we watched the entirety of 2 seasons, I guess, right?
Yep. We did it over the course of 2 days, but you guys got to see the reactions all yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I loved watching the support for those old shows.
Sure.
Man, because of like I feel like the format hampers it. Like I feel like it could have been so much more if
Sure.
it hadn't have been a micro series, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if the prequels had been more like that,
Gotcha.
Like, there's this thing that I don't like about it. But if the thing that I like less had been more like it,
I had a lot of
So,
fun watching the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's a cartoon. We talked about it, how it's like, you know, the Jedi in there and the abilities that we see people use. It's like a legend.
Yeah.
What really happened. And then just some fantastic animation from Gendy. Some awesome sound. Like so many of those was just sound and music and no dialogue. Like
Sure.
Fordo just whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
yeah.
Some awesome new villains. Introduced.
Well, and introduced a lot of concepts, including those
Yeah.
villains. Asajj Ventress, who's a staple in the Clone Wars,
Sure.
is introduced in that show.
You also get to see a General Grievous there.
You see
know?
General
Yeah,
Grievous,
definitely.
Dirge. You guys
So-
like
Dirge,
Dirge?
yeah.
And the Dirge's Lance
oh
is
yeah.
the name of that
Aw.
maneuver.
I think some of the stuff they do in that is really good, and I
Yeah.
really enjoyed a lot of it, and some of the stories and everything.
Yeah.
I do think that me having not seen it back when it first came out,
Mhm.
I'm like a constant for me was like thinking of where the lore is now with things
Sure.
versus where it's at with that. So like some things like would take me out and be like, but that's weird.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't how it should happen, or is yada yada. So, but that doesn't mean I don't think the animation was good or that episodes were done well or anything like that.
Mhm.
And like I get Rick too. Like it would have been pretty cool if they would have made like a series of that instead of
Yeah.
it being like short 3-minute episodes or something like that. Having like here's a 20-minute episode of these, you know. So
It has some of my favorite cartoon moments in Star Wars, like just a blast in the building and C-3PO just like screaming out of it. Ah! You know, his reveal of his golden body.
Yeah.
But then like there's this stuff like Anakin versus Asajj on Yavin 4. There's Grievous getting crushed by Mace Windu and that fight. Him
All
taking
Grievous.
Yeah, all of Grievous.
He's
is
never been better.
fantastic. He's literally never been better. Though I still like sniveling, running Grievous. That
Yeah.
one is way more frightening. But yeah, like it you know, the Clone Wars show stands on the shoulders of some work that it did. But
And I think Star Wars has never felt bigger.
yeah, it has a huge scale.
you mean like when they would be like, we're going to space to fight, and there was just like a
Yeah.
shit
There's like
ton
There's
of-
so
2,000
many ships.
torrent
There's
starfights.
so
So
many
many,
things.
droids
Yeah.
or whatever.
Uh-huh.
It's just it
Yeah.
felt like a war.
Yeah, especially with the quick cutting back and forth between the storylines and stuff. Like
Mhm.
we had a lot of simultaneous storylines going on in Clone Wars.
Yep.
But Clone Wars storylines seemed like they were happening all at the same time, and it made the universe very busy.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you blink, you're gonna miss something and lose a battle and lose ground.
Sure.
Like there was definitely like urgency.
Yeah.
In those episodes.
I think
And-
my favorite segment of it is the Battle of Coruscant.
Coruscant
The
battle.
stuff they have with that.
Yeah.
I think that's in my favorite, but also I think it's also that it's not like everything they show there. There's nothing to contradict it anywhere. I think that's why I enjoyed it so much because it's like this isn't anything I've really seen somewhere else, you know. And I think I really like that in that story bit.
I really like Anakin's trial of the spirit that he has on Nelvon.
That's true.
I
That's cool
think
too.
I mean,
Yeah.
I love the lore of Mortis, but in terms of what Anakin goes through and then forgets or whatever, I think I actually kind of prefer Ghost Hand because he is the hero to those people, but we see in that vision what taking that power does.
Sure,
you know,
yeah.
I think that's one of my favorite parts of that show.
I do like that too.
Mhm.
That was really cool.
And it just laid into the Hayden impression so
It
hard.
did.
Yeah.
Master.
I think it might be my favorite animated Star Wars thing we watched.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of time to mess up.
Wow.
Not that Clone Wars ever messed up, but it would have some episodes where it's like R2 and 3PO are getting fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, the Clone Wars micro series
Mhm.
is probably at a B.
A B.
I don't think I enjoyed it as much as I do like Rebels and
Yeah.
Clone Wars. But I think I enjoyed it more than most shows and stuff. Like I thought it was fun. I mean, maybe it's because it's Star Wars and whatnot, but I also enjoyed the animation-y look and style to
Mhm.
it and everything. And
Posture
I
check.
think there's some really good like story stuff that I really like. There's some other ones that I'm like, I don't enjoy this part so much. But I
Sure.
enjoy other things a lot more.
Yeah.
Like, for me, like I love Genndy like having his own vision and stuff. But there's
Yeah.
a few of those where I'm like, this seems silly to me. You know?
Sure. Yeah.
So
Like Mace Windu taking out 3,000 B2 battle droids.
no, that's awesome.
Okay, Mace Windu taking control through wires, a vulture droid.
That was silly.
So great.
Great, right?
That was silly.
So
To-
that
to
was
me-
silly, but was the 3PO revealing himself to jazz music, was that silly? Because you enjoyed that.
That was silly.
No, that's 3PO.
Sorry, jazz music.
I guess things like that one there is like that seems a little odd.
Yeah.
Or like how does this work in a lore perspective? And it took me out.
Yeah.
For me, which was
Sure.
weird, maybe. But I also like, oh well, here's what I picture knights to be. They're
Yeah.
on speeders with lances, and I was like, well, that's kind of cool.
No, I get
But
you.
it's also weird for me too. So
Having Star Wars as a singular vision as opposed to like, well, now it's not, I won't say it's made by committee, but there's a lot of people putting in input, directors, designers, and stuff like that.
Sure.
Like, it's all on Genndy for that thing, right? Like, Lucas barely had any, like, involvement. There was a couple things I think Lucas was like, you can't do that,
Sure.
But he had a lot of control, so I love it in that regard. It
Yeah.
feels like it's a Genndy
Like,
show.
I definitely feel like this is one of those things where it's like, for me, these are the things I don't like. Like Rick doesn't like the mods in Boba Fett, right?
Sure.
But like I don't
I don't like the mods on Tatooine. But yeah.
Sure, yeah. But like that part seems weird, right? But for me, like Mace grabbing wires and then just controlling a droid fighter seems like I love the concept idea.
Yeah.
Like it sounds cool, like it's like a chariot.
Mhm.
But in execution, I feel like it's a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
You know? So like I feel like it's one of those. But I feel like I have more information to justify my stance than hating mods.
Yeah.
But I'll probably go with B though. So
I get what you mean. Like like Mace Windu controlling that droid works on, like, you don't like that on any planet.
I'm trying to think like how does that work?
I
Like,
get
think
ya.
in like if I have some reasonings to
Yeah,
kind of
like,
Right,
okay,
and
so this guy knows Shatterpoint, and
But,
then
like,
he's gonna
when
Like, I'm pretty sure that's canon. It's in the Fantasy Flight RPG.
probably possible
What
that
does
you're
that
able to do something.
mean?
I'm pretty sure all that's canon.
I don't know. I'll hear what some other people think of.
We'll talk about it more on
Rankings.
Badunkagonk.
Badonka.
Yeah, indeed. Check it out.
So Aaron, you were a B. What
I'm
about
at
you
a B.
guys?
I'm at a B.
I'm at a B as well.
B.
I think I give it an A.
I'm at A
I
as
just
well.
love things that have such a strong singular vision. Like I love Hideo Kojima games, and I love that vision of Clone Wars because of Gendy's vision.
Yeah.
So A for me.
Yeah, I'm also at a A because I mean have loved that show for. I mean, it came out in 2003. Like I've loved that for a long time. So it's very dear to me as well. If there's gonna be a bias, it's to that than any other Star Wars property probably that we have on this list. But I think it earns that in spades. So I'm an A. It's not an S for me, but I'm an A. We have a tie break, and you have Calvin on your side. So
Damn it, Smash.
I
Smash.
thought chat
Smash
was
rules.
breaking the tie.
oh damn it. Yeah, you're right. I
Well,
don't
what
know.
did chat vote? Did chat vote? Did we have a vote? I don't know if we had a poll. They said
A.
A, which works with Smash too. So I concede the A.
Smash.
All right, so we'll move Star Wars Micro Clone Wars into the A category with
And I
most
also-
of the other Star Wars shows.
I finished with saying I really want to watch Primal sometime.
Me too.
That's Gendy's new series.
I don't know what that is.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Is that about animals?
I want to watch Samurai Jack again.
It's also a great show.
Huh.
I haven't seen the new Samurai Jack.
I haven't either.
Well, speaking of samurais and jacks, I don't know how that.
Jacks?
I'm gonna transition into. We have one more Star Wars,
Uh,
which had some samurais in it.
Oh.
Star Wars Visions.
Visions.
Man.
Another anthology show.
It is.
Yeah, which are tough to rate.
Very tough. Because there's fantastic ones, and then there's ones that are like, eh.
there was a couple D episodes.
Yeah.
There was a couple S episodes.
There was one that was like an E.
Like, where do we have what if?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like
There's one I just didn't like at all.
What if's
Yeah.
in B?
B, okay.
Black Mirror's in C, which is our other
Yeah.
anthology kind of show.
There's like I'd say probably like 3. How many were there? 8, 9? 9 of them?
I think
right?
there were 9 episodes.
I think there were 9. I
Yeah.
want to say like 3 or 4 of them I really liked. And there was like one. There's one especially that I just did not like.
the last one.
Trying to think if I could name,
No, I don't think it was the last one. It
not
was the
necessarily
last
name, but like describe all of the episodes. And I think I could come pretty close, which I think speaks a lot to the show.
Yeah, just to go over it real quick, we had The Duel, Tatooine Rhapsody, The Twins, The Village Bride, The Ninth Jedi, Toby, TOB1, The Elder, Lupin Ocho, and Akakiri. So we did have 9.
I think there was
And-
only one that I didn't like.
I know Aaron didn't like The Twins. That's the one that you didn't
I,
like,
I
right?
did not like the Twins.
Yeah.
Twins I thought was too much. But I know Rick liked that one.
I did.
He
I
thought,
liked
that,
the
one, he thought that
Twins.
one was enough.
Yeah, it was. It was Star Wars if it was Gurren Lagann.
I really enjoyed the what was the one with all the was it 9 the 9 or
The
something?
The Ninth Jedi.
The Ninth Jedi. I,
That was
Jedi,
the
yeah.
20-minute long
I
one,
liked
which
that
was
one a lot.
technically
That was the one that was 2 episodes into one.
yeah.
I
Mhm.
really liked that one.
Mhm.
That one was really cool.
That one was incredible.
The Duel
Yeah.
was pretty cool.
Good.
I liked that one.
Yeah.
Tatooine Rhapsody was kind of in the middle for me. Like I think it was a fun episode. Like I didn't hate it.
Hey,
You
sure.
know? Like I thought it was good. Like maybe B or something like that for that.
Yep.
Toby
The
one
Vil-
was okay.
The Village Bride.
Yeah,
I did like
Very
Village
good.
Bride.
I
Village
liked a lot
Bride
of the
was
world
pretty cool,
stuff
too.
in the Village
Yeah,
Bride.
me too.
Village Bride was really, really cool.
I like Toby.
Toby was more of an Astro Boy thing, but I liked that. The Elder, I really enjoyed.
Yep.
Lupin Ocho was like, ironically, one of the most Star Wars
Yeah.
for me in terms of
It definitely
like,
had
family and.
Yeah, it had those
Yeah.
tones.
I don't remember the 9th one.
You don't remember
It might
Akakiri?
not bode well for it. I don't know.
It's probably my least favorite.
Yeah,
I
I
actually
think the ninth one is
I
my
like
least
Twins
favorite as
better
well.
than that one. But that one is the one that a guy, ends up turning to the dark side and joining that Sith lady.
okay. I think I kind of
Yeah.
remember that one.
He ends up he like
okay.
accidentally kills the
Gotcha.
girl or whatever.
And then the Elder was kind of like the Qui-Gon Obi-Wan thing,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yep.
that one was okay.
That one was fun.
I like some of it. And
I love
there's
the
some of it I don't.
I
like
love
so
the
much.
the elder, the bad
Yeah.
guy in that.
A lot of. I mean, there's some really good stuff that I really like.
No, I mean just looking here, and we have 9. There's 2 that I'm like, but all the other ones are pretty good here. I mean, I wouldn't mind just ranking these.
Sure.
As individual things.
We'll have to do that.
then we have to break Black Mirror out.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I'm between A and a B just because of the 2 that I didn't love.
I think I'm between C and B.
I would go B if you go B.
I think I'm at a B.
Where's Calvin?
Yeah, I was between an A and a B. Probably leaning more towards B, just because of the ones that I didn't like. I completely forgot about them. Like you guys were describing the last one, and I was like,
I remembered all but the last
that
one.
doesn't sound familiar at all.
Yeah, I could remember all of them, but the last one off the
Yeah.
top of my head.
I think I've watched all of them at least 3 times, and then a couple of them a couple more times.
Yeah.
And I also want to check out the novel that came out based on The Duel.
On the dual one,
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't read that one yet or anything.
Yeah.
But if I had to, or pick one to continue, it's definitely The Ninth Jedi.
That was probably my favorite out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
think that one, like, it just added some things to like story wise. I'm like, this could be really cool and tell some really cool stories, So I think, man, we have so much stuff in B, but I think I'm okay with B.
Yep.
That's because you guys are fools about ReZero. It lives in A, you sons of bitches.
Yeah, that would fix all of B.
It would.
That one.
It would.
I still think, like, I know we watch a lot of good shows because people recommend the good stuff.
Yeah.
I still feel like I need to bell curve it out. Too much.
Whenever I'm ranking something, I don't honestly, other than like just trying to see my enjoyment of stuff around it, I don't really think about how much is in there. It goes where it goes.
Sure, but there needs to be like an average. And honestly, our average is in the BA area.
Yeah.
Which means we need to just kind of shove that down,
I-
put more stuff lower, and expand
it
out.
just
to
means
higher.
I generally like things more than I dislike them.
No, that's not what it means.
It just means that people pick good shows for us most
Yeah.
times.
No, you're not understanding.
No, I get it.
No,
You're just incorrect.
No.
You,
All right, so we're going with B.
You're like one of my students trying to get me to bell curve.
right?
Like, ha!
It's like
you
the only
fool.
reason that I would bell curve is if I wanted you to pass.
All right, so B for Star Wars Visions. Then are we all good
Yeah.
with that?
Let's do it.
I'm good with that.
Stamp.
All right. Well, that concludes all of the Star Wars categories.
Oh, okay. I was
So
like,
if you are interested in more Star Wars conversations,
Wow.
yeah.
we may have more here, but we will definitely have more in the Badonka Gonk podcast. So make sure you tune in for that.
Yep.
Follow here.
Yep.
But Donka Gunk,
Badonka Gonk. It will be a Star Wars podcast.
you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
I hope everyone enjoys it and shows up for the first
Yeah.
episode because I'm excited. All right. Well, moving out of Star Wars, our next one is going to be Teen Titans.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Teen Titans.
And when you guys were talking about Young Justice, like last week, I was confused. I was like, oh no, like Teen Titans is great.
Yeah.
Young Justice is in C right now,
Yeah.
which I've not seen, so I cannot compare.
Mhm.
But Teen
Dang.
Titans has gotten stronger for me as it's went on. I think we've watched its strongest season. Like, I think the last season we watched was the strongest.
The best
Yeah.
one yet?
Yeah.
Season 4.
Sure. I think 4 was really good. I think it's done a good job of kind of leading up to that. I was
Agreed.
surprised because I thought all the episodes would be much more because it's a little bit old of a show,
Yeah.
and I felt like it would be much more of a
Standalone episodes.
like where you can just tune in and watch whichever one you want. But there's some continuity
Sure.
of stuff that's kind of been growing and stuff that I think really adds to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Like,
a lot
yeah.
of kid shows do that, right? You can
Sure.
just jump in anywhere and not have to pay attention.
Yeah, lots of times you just have those, and then you'll have the moments of like the last 2 episodes are our part 1, part 2.
Sure.
That's our bigger story that we want to tell. But all these ones are smaller, one-off, kill these villains,
And
fight
it's-
these guys, whatever.
It's very clearly a kid's show, but I think it touches on some dark and mature themes.
Oh,
It
yeah.
definitely
Here and there.
does.
Yeah, remember was that one dude from space? Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah, the one dude from
That
space.
racist.
Well,
was-
yeah. And with that, some of like cyborg stuff.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
Well.
And also some stuff with Raven as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm trying to divorce myself of my
Titans.
dislike of Titans. So I think I like Teen Titans more because I dislike Titans.
Yeah, because we saw how it could
Oh,
go
yeah.
wrong.
Well, we had the benchmark of Titans.
And like
Yeah.
Titans has everything to work with. Like, it's a mature show. They can tell whatever stories they want, however they want to tell them, I feel like, for the most part. It seemed to have a pretty big budget for the show.
Except for that van.
Well, yeah.
That van,
Maybe
you always
that's
bring up that
exactly-
van.
Maybe that's
And
exactly what
you're
they
always
wanted.
right.
You know what? I guess so.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to say about that fucking van. Teen Titans is probably an A for me.
I don't know. Like, I would rank it. It's tough because this is an amalgam of rankings.
Yeah.
Like, I would rank it below Code Geass and ReZero for me.
Mhm.
But I don't think I would ever put it in C.
Yeah. Are you thinking like a low B?
I mean, I don't even know if it's a low B.
Just a B.
Maybe. I don't know. I love the
Definitely-
theme song.
I like the theme
I
song.
love both of them.
True.
Yeah. I like the theme songs for it. I think that they do some really creative stuff with the art styles. I love some of the shadow stuff they do.
Mhm.
There's been some really cool like ways of moving like of just the way they do the arts, doing the fights, doing
Yeah.
like those 2D like long hallway kind of shots and stuff. I really love that.
The
Yeah.
silhouettes
Yeah, like
Yeah.
those things are it's so cool when they do that.
are very cool.
There's been some really good episodes, some stuff that's a little deeper, some stuff that's not so much. There's also some of the there's some episodes where it's like these don't matter too much. You know what I mean? Like these ones could just be
Sure.
like if they weren't there, I wouldn't miss anything. But they're fun to have in there.
Mm-hmm.
I would put it at an A. I don't think it reaches an S tier for me or anything, but I
Mhm.
think it's above average of what I was expecting for sure.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot more fun watching it than I thought I would.
I think
yeah.
if it continues to trend better, I think it could go higher for me. But I think it is a B right now for me.
I will also say B, and I'm really interested to re-rank next year when we have it all finished. It's like a very high B, I think.
So BB, A. Did you say A?
I said A as well. Yeah.
So either I lose
It's
Smash
so it's a
or
very fun B.
a very
Yeah.
fun B. Did we have
Yeah.
a poll for this one? A is what voted.
Alrighty.
So if we go with that,
So I
We put
didn't
it-
team kill that match.
we put
I
it
do
in A.
remember the Larry intro.
We
you're
won
right.
a Smash match, Calvin!
Yeah.
Yay! Is that good? We good with
1
A?
out of 100.
It's bound to happen once in a while, Rick.
You're right.
Once in a while.
There's times when I kill myself 3 times.
All right. So moving on after Teen Titans, our next one up is The Legend of Vox Machina.
Ah.
This one's an interesting one because it was also a, it was made to based off Critical Role's
D&D
D&D
campaign.
campaigns, but
yeah.
Mhm.
it also starts off. The first few episodes are a little weird because they're real quick to tell like a story that happened before their campaign.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's real fast and
Yeah.
it's a little different than the rest, but
And it's interesting to compare this show to other shows because other shows have, how do I say it, full control of their narrative, whereas
Sure.
Vox Machina is based off of decisions characters were making in a game. So it's interesting to try to compare that. Like,
Played by the same people who played this
yeah,
character.
exactly, too, which is really cool.
does
They
have really good
yeah.
voice acting.
You can't
Yeah.
say like they probably like a lot of voice actors like to say they own their character.
Yeah.
I'm the only Batman or I'm the only Goku, but they are literally the only of those characters.
Yeah, I don't care much for the show, but I like what the show and Critical Role in general has done for like role-playing games.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just like gotten it to a bigger, broader audience.
Mhm.
So I am really appreciative for the show, both shows. for
Yeah.
that.
And our final reaction to The Legend of Vox Machina went up today.
Did it?
Ah, convenient.
Perfect timing. No other show has made me want to play tabletop role playing
Yeah.
game more.
The Expanse.
No.
I don't play a whole lot of space like role playing
Sure.
stuff, so like that one doesn't hit me the same way.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, you're seeing druids and you're seeing paladins and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Because they're not having to make the same decisions for the same reasons as the members of Vox Machina.
Yeah.
Like they're like, okay, what can I do? Now what do I want to do? Not what should I do, what will I do? You know?
Yeah, I feel like the only real negative I have for it, and I think this is just because of the way it was incepted, was it goes from serious to comedy, not with the. I don't think it gels super well.
Gotcha.
Like, and I'm not saying that. And I think that gels well better whenever you have people playing around, a table.
Sure.
But in a narrative, I feel like sometimes I got whiplash hearing Korg. Is that his name? What's the half Titan guy? Grog.
Yeah,
Grog.
Yeah, Grog.
Like Grog, I feel like is funny in isolation, but sometimes it undercut stuff for me. So for that, and we're gonna see more.
The
too.
nature of it as well, like the first arc is very separate from the rest.
It is.
Just because that was all they were going to do
Yeah.
at first, right? And then it got expanded from there.
I believe that they ran a campaign to do their before story.
Yeah.
And then they got enough that they were like, well, let's do this. And then
Yeah.
they did what they did.
I can definitely see fans of the tabletop show loving
Yeah.
this. Whereas for me, it's either a B or a C right now. And we're gonna see more eventually, right? I assume.
I'm
I don't want to get spoilers, so I can't watch the campaign, so I can't like it more.
Sure. I definitely think that there's some elements where if you've watched it, you might enjoy it more.
Yeah.
Because like I was curious because like I've seen some stuff,
Sure.
but not a lot. And then I knew like you guys hadn't seen like anything. I don't know about Calvin or not if you've watched any Critical Role or anything, but
Very, very little.
the like some of the stuff that I enjoyed a lot was seeing these characters doing things where I'm like, oh, I
Yeah.
remember Sam playing this character, and like, just how it's played and what that character represents. I'm
Sure.
like, ooh, how are they gonna do this character and stuff? And
Yeah.
that stuff I felt like was a lot of fun for me for that.
Yeah.
But I think that was also because I had some knowledge of the what it's based on, and I don't know I don't know how it plays for everybody having no knowledge of anything.
I mean, I liked how, because I was reading a comment earlier today on I think it was the last one. Like, Rick was able to guess this god character that they were talking about, but they aren't legally allowed to use that name. Like, I can't remember what you said it was.
Sure.
But people were like, yep, that's it. That's who it was in the campaign. They just couldn't say anything,
Makes
So I
sense.
like that you're able to, like, recognize that stuff in there despite them not being able to say it.
Yeah, no, my favorite part of the show, I think, was the action, because you get to see the D&D spells and things like manifested in animation. It wasn't the best animation, but it wasn't the worst animation either, I don't think.
sure.
No, for me, like, the humor just didn't really land for me. And I didn't care much for the characters of the story, so didn't really work for me, unfortunately. So I think I put it in a D.
What about you, Calvin?
It's probably a high B or a low A for me. Like I really enjoyed the characters and the comedy. It worked for me. Oh yeah, I just wanted to play D&D myself more.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I know one of the things we talked about when we were watching was like that was Rick's thing. He's like, I'm watching this. I want to play D&D. I could just be playing D&D.
Sure.
Even though we haven't played
it
D&D.
detracted from his
Or
experience.
I could be watching a show on other D&D campaigns,
I mean, I suppose, but they're not gonna be like this show.
Sure.
It's gonna be. I don't know what I guess you mean more like watching Critical Role itself rather than
Well,
a show
no,
about it.
more like, maybe seeing like nostalgic adventures or something might be kind of cool. Like a Ravenloft or something like that.
Gotcha.
Whereas this, like, it seems like they played Ravenloft maybe, or had a campaign sort of similar to that, but like seeing more of the actual stuff that's ingrained in core D&D might have been fun.
I think right now I'm at a C or a B. No, I'm at a C. And that is with anticipation of watching these characters, which I know there's a lot of material for them.
Sure. They've been doing it for
That's
a long
with
time.
anticipation of like wanting to see more and knowing that this is just scratching the surface of what ultimately was people having fun together,
Yeah.
The
Sure.
story.
No, I think for me, I think I enjoyed it more than an average show.
Yeah.
But I think more people enjoy it having watched Critical Role and seen these characters come to life into a TV show.
Yeah.
Rather than it just being the voice actors, which I mean, the voice actors do a good job bringing these characters to life.
Sure.
They talk and do these voices, and Matt Mercer does such an amazing job. But I'm glad they got other people to
doing
do voices.
all the side characters.
I'm glad they got other people to do the voices instead of just Matt Mercer doing everything.
Yeah.
No, I would say that it is a B for me, and I'm excited to see more storyline and stuff of what's going on and where they go, and maybe the story bits and stuff. Like, I could see the first one that's setting everything up and whatnot could be a little bit more generic, Rick. Like, story beats and stuff. A lot of times you need something a little bit simpler, getting people involved, getting them to understand what's going on.
Sure.
And then you build off into like, well, here's what they've done. Let me twist these into more stories down the way.
Yeah.
And I could see future seasons that they mess with and doing things really just be very different and feel much more different than just kind of that generic feeling that you got from the story.
It could. And if they have more time to work on it, like Eric was saying, the gelling between the comedy and the seriousness might work better
Sure.
as it goes on.
I understand that. So I would say probably a B for me. So we have a B from me. Rick, where'd you put it?
D.
You said D. Calvin, you said a A.
A.
I said a C. So A, B, C, D.
How do we average at?
I don't know.
What did chat say?
What did chat say?
It puts it in a CB point.
Yeah.
And chat said 44% said B.
Okay.
So should we put it like low B
Yeah. Low B is okay.
and have chat help us with that? Or I don't know how we even do like a smash fight for this because we're not even tied, you know?
Well, I mean, I can go get a trophy that says.
Rick, that was a farce.
No, he's right.
I mean, it needs to be in the high B or high C, low B in area. Like, I don't know where the average works with that. Unless we give everything a number and then average the number and give a percentage. And then we have it. That's too much work.
Or we put B or C on another poll, and chat picks B or C.
But
I mean, 44% was B, so
they
you're...
said
yeah.
B.
Yeah. I mean, I'm between D and E if that changes anything.
Between D and E?
Jeez, Rick.
All right. I don't know.
Well, just put it in B then.
Or just put it in C. I don't know. Either one, I guess.
But I'm not going to tank it just to make it lower. So I will stick with D.
All right. What do you think? B or C, Calvin?
I would lean B,
B.
but
I would lean B, but I also voted higher. Would you vote B or C, Eric?
C.
Rick, so would you say C then?
C's my original.
If I had the choice between the two, yeah, sure.
All right. I don't know. Chat said B for the most part, but we can put in C. I would lose the smash match probably. I already won the last one with Calvin, so put in C, I guess. Does that work? If 44% said B, that means what? 56% said something else. Though some of those might have said A.
some of them
Or
probably did
S.
say A and S.
You know. Let's see. I mean, like 63% said above C.
Yeah. So as the scale is weighted with A, B, C,
All right.
and D,
I'll say put B.
yeah,
You
put
guys
it
okay with
above
that?
B.
I'm fine with it.
I know this is higher from Rick's point of view, but
Like, man, B's too much. We need to take things out of B.
Only if we move Promise Neverland back up, then I'm okay with it.
You were the one that said to move it down.
We'll have an opportunity at the end here to look back and see what we want to change.
graded at a curve, Rick, it would be in a C right now. All right, Vinland Saga
Fucking curve.
is the next one.
Vinland.
The Vinland Saga.
Man.
Vinland Saga is an interesting one because I felt like when we got to the end of it, it felt like, I think this is the show everybody's talking about.
I'm,
Like at the end, you know?
At
Not
the-
necessarily the whole show.
like, I'm more excited about watching future
Yeah.
Vinland Saga than I am about what the Vinland Saga I've watched.
Sure.
Definitely.
hmm
Yeah, I don't know. This one, it's got some good stuff. It's got some very different dub performances. I feel like than a lot of anime.
Sure.
But
I'm welcome for
I
it.
still quite like it. I especially like Ashlad.
Yeah, when we were done, I went back and I looked at some scenes with the other dub and some original sub. Doesn't really change my enjoyment of the show, honestly. But
It's mainly the audio mixing that
it is.
felt
And
a little weird for me.
yeah, I get you. But I think for me, it's just I liked all the characters except for the main character that didn't have much of a character.
Sure.
But that feels on purpose. That feels like this character cannot develop yet.
Yeah.
You know, which is frustrating to watch as you're watching week to week.
Yeah.
But you know that's gonna feel so good when you're 4 seasons in. You know.
Sure.
So, but all the characters around them, especially Ashalan, fantastic.
It's got some good fights.
Yeah.
Great music. A lot of people compared it to Berserk for me,
Mhm.
which did it no favors.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't remember that.
They
part.
compared it to Berserk?
Yeah, like when it came out originally, people were messaging me all the time. It's like, oh man, you like Berserk, you really need to check out this show.
But they could be thinking about the manga or something like that. I suppose.
Maybe.
Because when I think about Berserk, I don't think about the show anymore.
So I definitely had
When thinking
pretty
about the manga.
high expectations going in,
Yeah.
and it did not meet those expectations. But it was by no means terrible. It's really the main character
Yeah.
that drags it down.
But Thorkel can lift it so high.
Way over everyone's head.
For me, Thorkel and Ashlog is what kind
Yeah,
of made
and
that
Thors.
show.
I like Thors too. We didn't get much of him, but I like
Sure,
Thors.
yeah.
I liked his presence and what he did for the whole show.
Yeah.
I do appreciate there's a lot of anime craziness, but there's a lot of historical accuracies
Yeah,
in it as well, which is really
They
cool
would
to
do
see.
that, and then they were just running across the field holding a boat. Which I enjoy that, honestly. I love
Sure.
the duality of what anime does sometimes.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of similar to Fate Stay Night for me. And like I like a lot of the surrounding show, I just don't like the main character.
Yeah. But I have a huge feeling like I will.
Me too.
So I feel like I want to put it lower with the expectation of raising it up next year or the year after. Who knows when new.
Like I'm not sure
version of the show
if
will
Demon
come back.
Slayer will ever win me over, but I think Vinland Saga might.
Oh, yeah, I get. Okay. Interesting.
I
Yeah.
kind of hope Vinland Saga I really enjoy, and it fixes some thoughts of Viking stuff for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
know, 'cause, like,
No, I get you.
I was already kind of like, I don't know, like, okay, some Viking stuff. Let's see what happens here, and like,
Yeah.
there's some stuff that's okay, and there's some other stuff that I'm like, I really like this, and there's a few parts I'm like,
Sure.
I want to do something else with this one. I don't know. For Vinland Saga, for me, I think there are some real fights. I think there's some stuff that I like some characters individually, but I think a lot of the other parts of the show are like okay.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anything that's like bad. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like there's not like the music I think
Sure.
was pretty good. Like the animation I thought was pretty good too.
Yeah.
I mean voice acting wise, like that's where we got the holy shit.
That's true.
shit!
Which is great.
You know,
Yeah.
I loved it.
It was fantastic.
There's so much
moments in
fun
that.
that I have with a lot of stuff. So, I think for me, I would right now just put it in C.
I think it lives in C for me as well.
I only say C because that final episode was called End of Prologue. That's
Sure.
the title of the episode.
And
And it makes me go, huh.
prologues aren't always like the best parts, you know. Like in
Oh,
a book,
they're-
like you get like 2 pages and like there's
yeah,
the prologue,
it means
here's
that
the story.
it means we literally haven't gotten started. So I think that I'm in a C just because like there's some singular moments, but there's also episodes that I went the entire episode being like, okay, that was good, you know. Like I love the turnaround when we get to why am I blanking on the name of the prince right now? Canute.
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 Like there's moments of Canute where I'm like, what's going on with this guy? And then when we get it, I'm like, oh, interesting. And then the other things where I'm like, I'm a little confused. And then, but then it doesn't matter if I'm confused. It's about
Sure.
the character consistency. There's all that stuff in there that I think will build to something greater than C. But right now for me, it's a C with
Wow.
Yeah,
progression.
like I think it will grow.
Yeah.
If more seasons come.
Sure.
I thought I was gonna be an outlier.
No, I mean,
Well, now I feel like an asshole.
no, I mean, it just should be, I am the best at
Wait.
saying what I think.
I
want to
know why Calvin feels like an asshole.
Because he gives it an F?
Because I say it's an A.
Oh.
But you guys
an A,
think
huh?
it sucked, apparently.
Damn.
No.
I think it is
No.
C doesn't
average.
suck.
C. Okay, here's the thing too. I want to say this. People go like, "Oh my God, a C!"
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. C is not bad. C puts you kind of in an average state.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's not like the best TV show I've ever watched.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. F, E, those are bad shows.
Yeah.
D are slightly below average. C is just a solid, for me right now, average show where it's like, if it comes back on,
Sure.
I would watch more.
C, it's got good, it's got bad, it balances out.
If you're getting into D, E's, and F, those are getting into shows where it's like I may not or probably won't watch those on a new episode, new season
Yeah.
or whatever. You know, everyone thinks C is terrible. It's like when you get to ratings of games and you're like, we rate this one a 6,
Sure.
and I'm like, well, that's just slightly above average. But usually, if it's below 7, it's awful, and that's how people rank things. And
Sure.
it's a weird way in my mind to rank stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think C's bad. C for
No,
me is
I don't mean that like C is bad. I just mean that I enjoyed it so much more than you guys then.
which is good. It's good if you enjoy.
I
it.
was there when you were enjoying it.
Yeah. Holy shit, Thorkel. There's some great fights. There's some good
Sure.
stuff in there.
Yeah.
If it comes back, I would watch it.
Hmm.
And I hope that it wins me over to where I'm like, you know what? I like this more than I liked Clone Wars, you know, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, I love shows. And I love to love shows more than other shows. But they got to get me there first.
Sure.
And I didn't get there. And maybe I'm tainted by Vikings. But
I mean,
Man,
if other people, like if everybody said
If
A,
this is the Teen Titans to Vikings, then Vikings should push it up.
Vikings had better moments than the best moments of Vinland Saga so far for me. Like, Vinland Saga has Askeladd in terms of, like, S-tier character.
Yeah.
You know? But there's other things in there where I'm like, I think it's okay. But it's nothing. It wasn't like anything that blew me out of the water. And I'm really good at showing when things blow me out of the water.
I don't know. I just watched the throne room when he's getting his gift.
Sure.
You guys all seemed like you were way into it.
That is tremendous, but that is
I
like,
resent the fact that someone would say that me putting something in C doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it.
yeah, that's like 5% of the show.
I love Chuck, but Chuck's an easy C for me. You know?
Sure.
I love everything that's in C right now. But, like, I'm not, like, you know, that doesn't mean that I hate a thing.
Sure.
If I hate it, it's an F.
Sure, yeah. And
I never said you hated it.
Yeah.
I think also some stuff in C, like you saying it's an A or saying you enjoyed it a lot, it doesn't make you an asshole.
Yeah.
It means you enjoyed it much more and you think highly of it, as opposed to like, I think it's a fun, serviceable show, and there's stuff I like and there's stuff I don't like. That's kind of like, you know, like Flash for me. There's some seasons of Flash that I really, really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And some seasons that I don't enjoy as much. And that brings it down. If I didn't have those seasons, Flash would probably be higher for me, you know?
Yeah.
For
Yeah, like,
Vinland right now, I think like there's episodes and some characters I really like, and there's some story beats and some characters that I'm like, I didn't enjoy that as much, or this makes me very upset, and now I don't like that, you know? But I think it balances out for me at a C.
Yeah, like I can't remember exactly which episode is what, but I feel like if the show was just the last 6 episodes, it would rank much higher for me.
Sure, yeah.
I think the last of Vinland was really, really good. Honestly, I think the beginning I liked and the end I liked, and the middle lulled more for me.
Sure.
Does that
I
make
mean,
sense?
if I was ranking just the first season of Black Sails, it would probably be a B or a C.
Yeah.
Black Sails is an S. That for me right now, this is a good start.
Sure. Yeah. This is like, hey, look, I like this. I want
Yeah.
to see more, and then it's gonna either increase for me or decrease depending on what it does.
Definitely, yeah.
So, like, I enjoyed Heroes. I did not enjoy Heroes Reborn, the final season that
Oh
they
my
had of
God,
Heroes. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Sure.
the first season, I probably would have it an A.
Mm-hmm.
But the longer it went on, and the writer's strike didn't help it, lots of problems,
Yeah.
which some of the stuff they can help, some of the stuff they couldn't help, you know?
So Calvin putting it at an A and that's a C. Does that it ends up in B then, right?
Well,
I would
think
say.
it's weighted high C.
I mean, I'm a high C. If you guys all said A, I would be like, yeah, fucking put it in B then. Easy. C was just my honest one.
sure. C is where, like, for me, that's where I would put it on my own personal thing,
Mhm.
probably, you know? But with 3 C's and an A, if this was Rick and it was reversed, and it was like 3 A's and his C or D,
Sure, I get you.
we would probably, I don't know, maybe kind of counter it a little bit. We've done it before where it's dropped to letter grade because.
Yeah.
I mean, I can put it into B so that we kind of counter a little bit of like, here's what our thoughts are versus
Yeah.
every.
I mean, I definitely need to do a rewatch. I mean, like I said,
But-
I've rewatched a bunch of parts of it. Especially because it was the one that a lot of people had said, like, please check out some of the other versions and stuff. And I did just for the sake of like, am I not enjoying it because of that? And I truly don't think I was. I think a lot of people have very strong opinions about that kind of thing, but I think I can be pretty objective when it comes to alternate casts for different roles and trying not to let that affect me too much. But honestly, like, Askeladd, so good, that voice actor. Like, I might go up a letter grade just for him, for that actor.
But my vote's at C. If Rick's at C, if you're at A, and if you're at C, I don't know what chat said.
Yeah.
Chat said.
What percentage?
Chat said S at 42%, and A at
Interesting.
32%.
Yeah.
So, CD is at 1%.
Yeah.
I mean, majority of them. Have
Well, that's because
higher.
we didn't give them E and F as an option.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we gave them E and F together.
Oh, okay. You just didn't say it.
So E and F was at 6% for the two of those.
Gotcha.
So C and D was at 1. So most people have it above an average.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, Rick. What do you think? Given that we have an A, what do you think we should do?
I don't know. Like,
I'm trying to think. What have we done in the past when we had this? Usually, I
You
feel
guys
like
said smash.
well,
we win. That's what happened in the past.
Well, I mean,
we'll see.
what do we do for One Punch Man? Because I'm the only one that ranked that differently, right?
Where's
I mean,
One
you took
Punch
it down
Man?
a whole letter grade
Yeah.
for us.
I think we all had an A.
But I was also in D for that, I think.
You were in D. You were 2 letter grades down, right?
I think so.
It's like we all said A. You said D, so it brought it down.
Yeah.
Actually, you were 3 letter grades down. I don't know. Calvin, you didn't pick S. I might have to go C.
Do you want me to?
Do you think it deserves an S?
I think where it opened up the show. Like, I don't know what direction they're taking, but I'm gonna like it.
I mean, I hope I like it too, but for the Vinland Saga, no one talked about the place.
I mean, I have to. For me, like I have to
What?
reserve S.
People talked about it
for,
all
like-
the time.
No
love
one's
all-
going there.
What are you?
And I just don't do
Everyone's going there.
Hang
What
on,
are you talking
hang on.
about?
There's another conversation happening. You can't interrupt it in the middle. But we can come back to that.
Yeah.
There's just a whole lot of not going to Vinland.
I'm a hard C, my dude.
I assume they get to Vinland at some point, but we weren't there yet. So for a prologue, it's interesting, and I'm intrigued, and I would like to see more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess since the majority and it's only a 1-letter difference, I guess it's 2 letters. Put it at the very top of C. How about that? We'll put it in the Berserk spot.
In the Berserk spot?
Yeah.
Is it on the top of C?
No. But just
He's saying move everything else out of the way in C tier and move it to the top left because that's
Don't try
Higher.
to church it up. I've done that.
I would say I was kind of surprised because like lots of times my anime thoughts are a little lower and Rick's are higher.
Yeah.
And then when I was like C and Rick's like C, I was like, whoa,
Mhm.
we're at the same page on this one.
Sure.
Which doesn't happen too often. But no, I mean I think this one I think it's a solid start. I don't think it blew me away or anything yet, you know?
Yep.
And I love to get blown away.
I know.
boom.
But no, I mean, you get what I meant about the villain thing.
Oh, yeah.
I know they talk about it a lot,
Yeah.
Get you.
but I think that's the idea of the show, right? It's that that's where we're going, and with this being a prologue, it's setting up what we're going to be doing. But I think it's set up now. But sometimes watching the setup isn't as much fun as the event.
it's true.
So, all right, I think we're going with C then.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Calvin.
That's all right.
I'm sorry. I think if you do the math, if you have 3 C's and an A,
Well, I'll release
Chat
our.
I think
Yes.
it's like I think
This
it's
is
a
why
high C.
everyone loves tier lists.
No, and every show on here is going to be probably someone's favorite show.
Every
I mean,
single show.
maybe
will
not
be
in
someone's,
humans,
yeah.
but someone's favorite show is on this list. You know,
I mean, if I watched Inhumans, it might be mine.
sure, you know,
really
you're
might.
right. You might.
You might ruin it for us by putting it. No, keep
So,
it.
I hope that some of the shows that are coming back and stuff, like that's why I like the idea of revisiting this stuff too, where we can be like, where does this fit,
Sure.
or this and that,
Yeah.
you know?
I hope there's more Vinland Saga.
I hope we get to like the next time we see it, and then we rank stuff. We're like, we had that at C. Yeah, I'd hope that changes.
Dude, that's a crazy moment, right?
Yeah.
You know, what's worse though is when you're like, we had that at S.
Yeah.
It's like, what were you thinking?
Sure.
No. But I don't think anything we have in S tier is things where I'm like, well, I don't know those shows.
Yeah.
There's like 3 shows there. All right, guys. So I think that's it.
Vinland Saga is the last.
I think that's the last
we
one.
went out on a big one.
we did.
Yeah.
Did.
Like the I don't know. I feel like that might have been the most controversial one that we had just between us.
Definitely today.
Yeah.
At
Certainly.
least today, for sure.
I was gonna say
There's probably other ones with Rick that we've had where it's
Yeah.
like, Rick, what? And you're like, I hated it. I'm like, why?
Code Geass for Rick. When I said what I said,
Well,
that was his most
to be fair,
controversial.
that was a miscommunication.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah. No, I can't wait for season 2 to come out. We can have more discussions.
Sure. And there's gonna be a lot more sequels and seasons and shows and stuff that we're gonna be covering and everything too over the
Mhm.
time. I don't know. Lots of stuff that we have to react to.
So now that we're at the end of the list, or like going through that, are there any that you think like I need to revisit this?
Man,
That's not Vinland. We just visited it.
Are there any shows that we need to revisit?
Yeah.
man, I feel like I'm not winning the Berserk game.
Sure.
I'm probably.
Let's see.
Man, we did watch another episode of Dr. Stone. I was like, maybe we need to revisit Dr. Stone.
I agree, but I feel like it's not going to change.
We also watched another episode of Demon Slayer, and both Eric and I said we should revisit that, and it hasn't moved.
No, you mean the most recent Demon Slayer?
No, I think we got that episode of Demon Slayer in last time. And in the last one that we watched, I thought it was good, but it wasn't as like game changing for me.
I mean, I probably would move a lot of things around, but that's because of my bell curve thought process, you know, where I feel like S and F should have like the least amount. They should be like the best of the best.
Yeah.
And then like everything else kind of like fluctuates a little bit more. I might actually go back through and like do my own in the future and post it maybe on Twitter of like I might give like A+, A- to really help differentiate some of the stuff maybe. I don't know. But like there's nothing that I'm looking at necessarily that I'm like, oh shit, why is that there?
I think there's only 2 shows I would move more than 1 tier.
More than 1 tier?
3 shows. And they're all in B tier.
And you would take them up or down?
Down.
3 shows in B that you would take down?
Yep.
I know you had One Punch Man.
One Punch, Demon Slayer, and Vox.
You take them down more than 1 tier?
Yep.
Jeez. See, Vox, I feel like is just a show that's. I don't think there's anything bad about it. If anything, the description you gave is that it was average.
It was, but like we were saying before about Vinland Saga and average. Like average, you want to watch again. Like
You don't want to watch Vox again?
no, I don't want to watch any more Vox. Really.
Anymore?
All right. So it was Vox, One Punch, and what was the other one?
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer.
You think they're too high?
So all those would be in D?
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
I
I mean, One Punch Man will probably be an E for me, to be honest.
Yeah. I would say that's. Wow, I can't believe that. I would say. Yeah, Rick, you're solely responsible for like 3 in the S tier, so I'm just gonna discount.
Yeah.
Those 3?
I'm just gonna discount fully.
I discount those 3 because you're 3 S tier. I mean, that's true. That's the one thing. I don't know anything about Fruits Basket,
Yeah.
Haikyuu. I mean, I know little bits, but not like the show itself.
Sure.
Or Ghost in the Shell, where I can be like, I think they deserve that or don't deserve it or anything, you know? I think most shows in A, honestly, there's a couple in A where I'm like, those don't go there.
Yeah.
Like Berserk for me, like Rick would have it in S tier,
Sure.
but I don't think it deserves that. I think it's okay. I think it's fun, but I don't. There's elements. I feel it's aged much more. You know, like it's just I don't know. I guess that's the one for me that I would knock down more. But everything else is pretty good, I think, for me. Calvin, what about you?
I was looking through.
Besides Vinland being higher.
I would probably have. I don't know. It's tough. 'Cause like I see a show and I like that one a lot more than the ones that are around it. And then I look up to what it would be among, and I would be like, I don't know if it quite gets there.
It's tough because, like...
Maybe Jujutsu Kaisen up to S for me.
Hmm.
I think I ranked it S before.
Jujutsu Kaisen is very good. Like, it's tough because there's so many... Like, there's so much of Ruby that I love.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some I don't.
Yeah.
Like, if I could split some of these shows into parts...
Yeah.
There would be parts of these shows that would be an S.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me sad that they're not higher, but...
Yeah.
It is the way it is.
No. And here in the next year, we can come back and revisit this and place some things in different spots. And then we have everything in the to be determined category still that we need to see more of before we can make any kind of suggestions. or anything.
Absolutely, and I can't wait to do that.
Yeah, I'm excited for all those.
And there's going to be a lot more next year too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Probably at least 15 more shows.
So there's new shows or there's new seasons that we can add on to like
Yeah.
what do we think? Does this change the ranking of this or that? And
Yep.
there'll be a lot of stuff to fluctuate and move around. But yeah, it's already after 5 now. Does anyone have anything else that they want to add in or toss into this?
Do you want me to
or-
burn through these bits and donations? There's not that many of them.
Sure, we can go through that real quick.
All right. Verices, 14 months. That's a lot of months. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Odeth, resubscribe for 4 months. Thank you.
Odeth.
Thank you.
Tattoo Mo, 34 months at tier 2. Thank
Mo.
you so much.
Thank you.
Danger Zone, 16 months. Thank you.
Zone.
Sugar Ray, 3 months. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Richie Nick, 2 months. Thank you.
Thank you.
I probably did butcher your name and I apologize, but thank you. Dip, 100 bits. Congrats on the wedding, Eric. Now that Legends is finished, does ranking it change for either of you guys?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Maybe next year.
Okay. Hilding, 55 bits. Weekly Loving.
Weekly loving.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Free, 100 bits. Congrats to Eric from me and Magao. May the force be with you.
Thank you.
Mr.
with
Stealthy
you as well.
Ninja. Sorry. What?
I said, and with you as well.
Yes.
Uh,
Mr. Stealthy Ninja, 17 months. Congrats to Eric and Jancy. What day do you guys record mailbag? Mine was delivered Saturday. Wishing the best for vacations.
the next one we won't be hitting up until after vacations,
Yeah.
actually. So
Mm-hmm.
we've already filmed things beforehand for it.
Veronica, 5 bits for the newlyweds.
Thank you.
Mr. Free, 4 months. Thank you. James X Games, 7 months. L tier.
L tier,
Yeah.
Wait, that's that assassin guy, right?
L tier.
Altair.
Yeah.
Mukalele, 17 months. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pikachu, 16 months. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Adal Garrison, 8 months. Congrats again on the marriage, Eric.
Thank you.
Excited to also see what this poll does on Twitch right now.
Ooh. Rogue ML, 6 months. Congrats, Eric.
Thank
you,
you.
Rogue.
Thank you.
Cyrus, 14 months. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Miss Karen Sita, 17 months. Thank you. C. Jarvis, gifted 5 subs.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Give
you.
Subs.
Thank you.
Thank you. Seamus, subscribe for the first time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Seamus.
Welcome.
Miss Timmy Fantastico, 30 months.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's so many.
Martian Army, 9 months. Blind White Baby, also congrats to Eric and Jancy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Fun with baby.
And finally, what about Second Breakfast, gifted a sub.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
thank you. I
Also,
love your
For
username.
breakfast?
The poll just ended, which was, would you like to see a movie tier listing? And 91%, 152 people said, yes, please.
91.
And 15 people said, no, don't.
So 15 people didn't want it.
Shame them.
No,
No,
shame.
don't
No
shame.
shame.
We
I'm
welcome
joking.
everyone's opinions here.
Also, if I do post this on Twitter for like what my tier list is, I'd be interested in seeing what other people's tier listings are for some of the shows. So
Sure.
if you guys have your own, I do know that there's a link in Discord where people put together a tier listing that you can do of like all these shows. So maybe check that out and maybe share it.
Where
on
can
Twitter.
they follow each of us?
Follow each of us?
Yeah, what's your handle?
I think mine's ATopGun007.
I'm Archmaster7.
At Eric Whiteley.
At Detective Calvin.
Yes. So you can always tag us there and let us know what your guys' tier listing is. I'm
No
always
spoilers,
interested to see what
please.
people like and what people don't like and stuff too. So, all right. Anything else, guys?
That'll be
That's
it.
I think
See you
that's
tomorrow.
all, guys. We'll be back
Pokemon.
tomorrow for one more stream before our break. So make sure you guys join us tomorrow for our Pokemon randomizer race. So, and follow here for Badonka Gong Podcast.
Yeah.
But that's all.
Badonka Gunk.
Goodbye.